Hey folks, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. We're all about transformation here, and it's the end of the month, so I wanted to get ahead of it and give you your oracle reading for October 2022. So there's lots going on, and remember that the planets aren't making you do anything. Because you're a sentient, celestial, eternal being, you feel everything. So you feel planets moving, stars, galaxies, people, birds, you feel it all. So, but it doesn't mean that they are controlling your actions. So when I look at astrology, I look at how you are utilizing your choices. And then that's reflected in the chart in astrology. So let me just share this with you. Do, 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 do. There we go. So this is today, September 29th, 2022. And this is what it looks like in the heavens right now if you're looking up. Now, we're coming out of a bunch of retrogrades, and retrograde planets aren't doing anything to you. Please understand that. But what you are feeling from the perspective of Earth, if you had binoculars and you could see across galaxies, time, space, and dimension, you would see the thread of your issues. You would see the thread of your existence, which is eternal. It is constant. And when we look at astrology, wrong way, we are looking at the correlation of one planet or star versus another, or a moon. And what it tells me is what choices you might be making or want to make or have made that are not serving you. All right. So let's look at what you might pick. We've got three. And before I even go there, in the month of October, Mercury goes direct on October 2nd. And then, but give everything, a week to 10 days before you feel however you feel, write it again. The same with Neptune goes direct on October 8th. Mercury represents the way you think, act, and communicate. But basically, it's the way you perceive. It's the beliefs that you create and then communicate those beliefs. And then Neptune represents dreams, illusions, addictions, artistry, magic, and mysticism, and denial, of course. And what you think karma is. Karma is the action. Dharma is the path. Karma is the action on that path. So then Saturn goes direct on October 22nd. And Saturn is the part of astrology that represents authority figures. The business person, the attorney, the judge, the parent, the grandparent, the masculine principle if you have a more passive feminine principle, regardless of gender. So when when October rolls around, these things that are going direct represent the part of you that is ready to take back your authority. You can't see that because you can't see my hand because of the image. Let me just move that for just a moment. So here we go. Here's Saturn. Ready to take back your authority and also let go of limitations and take care of your body in certain ways. Saturn represents the part of you. Hey, Joanna's here. Hi. Represents the part of you that is the structure, the bones, the teeth, the skin, the nails, the joints, the knees. And then we've got when Mercury, which is in Virgo now, goes direct on October 2nd, that part of you, Mercury represents the way you think, the way you perceive, the beliefs that you form from those perceptions, and then how you communicate that. And then we've got Neptune right over here, and Neptune in Pisces. Its natural placement represents the part of you that is disillusioned, attracts addiction, or is focused on addiction, or obsesses, or looks at the beautiful architecture but doesn't see that the building's on fire. So when Neptune goes direct, it's more about how can I now bring some of those dreams into a more solidified place? How can I make them real and concrete? How can I make those dreams tangible? And that's what Saturn represents is, all right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. And Mercury represents, let me think about how I'm going to do that, who I'm going to ask to help me. Okay, and then on October 30th, Neptune, I'm sorry, Mars, my brain is retrograde. Mars, which it's in Gemini right now, but as it represents your actions, it doesn't make you act. It represents your actions, also your blood flow, the head, infections. It's your momentum. And it can be sex drive, it can be anger, frustration, it can be passion, it can be motivation. So when that goes retrograde on October 30th, it will be there for a while. You'll be hanging back going, okay, I've got this dream I want to engage. How am I going to, let me just get rid of this for a sec. I have this dream I want to engage. How am I going to get rid of the obstacles, my perceptions, my beliefs that keep holding me back? So whatever it is and then we come into the Scorpio solar eclipse. And at the end of the month, hang on, I have so much on my desk. And when we do, it's going to be a very powerful time. The entire month of October, it's a lot of shuffling. It's a lot of reshuffling. It's a lot of, wait a minute, I thought I wanted that, but I thought about it again and it doesn't feel right. So definitely everything begins with vibration. So start there. If you're confused about which way to go, that's why we're doing an oracle reading today. Let me just pick those up in a second. I just wanted to quickly touch on the eclipse, and I wrote some notes, blah. But I cannot find. Oh, there it is. On the 25th at 2 degrees of Scorpio, 0 minutes. So if you know where that is in your chart, then those are the topics of that house that will be highlighted, plus the opposite, which will be in November, and that is in Taurus. So, but we're going to talk more about that next week in the beginning of October. And I'll be offering ways that you can work with me during these eclipses, October and November, because they're very powerful. And your perceptions are power. Your perceptions create the power. And then your actions create the momentum around that power. Pretty much a day in the life. Okay. So now what we have are 3 choices for your oracle reading today. I want you to think of something in mind that you've been hedging over. It's like, do I do that? Do I go with these people? Do I talk to this person? Do I move? Do I get a different job? Do I take that doctor's advice? So whatever is happening in your world, I want you to apply it to, first of all, you are the one in power and you can make healthy choices. Sometimes we absolutely need input from the outside world. So the first oracle will be Rebecca Campbell with the images by Danielle Noel. The Starseed Oracle is the first pick of the day. Hi, Ashley. So if you're just joining us, we are looking at doing an oracle reading today for the month of October. There's so many things that are changing, but you're the one who's changing. Planets aren't doing anything to you, but because you're an eternal, celestial, sentient being, you feel everything so deeply. The next choice will be the Heavenly Bodies Astrology by Lily Ashwell. These are really cool cards too. And then the third choice, and these are the cards that go with. And the third choice will be Colette Baron-Reid's The Oracle of the 7 Energies. So once again, pick an issue in your mind. The Starseed Oracle is the first choice. The heavenly bodies guide is the second choice. And then the third is Colette's Oracle of the Seven Energies. And when you're thinking about an issue, it can be a yes or no question, right? But it's not the card that's giving you the answer. It's your higher inner being. Please understand that. And so you're never giving your power away. All right. When you work with cards or readers, it's not about what they're telling you. It's what they're seeing in your energy field. And if they're good at what they do, they will present something that you may not be seeing. Like, here are the choices. Let's talk about how that looks. So, okay. Let's start with, and also if you wanted to go with sun, rising, and moon, you might say, oh, I'm going to choose the Starseed Oracle for my sun sign, the heavenly bodies for my rising sign, or the, seven energies for my moon sign, or any version thereof. All right. So now I just want you to take a nice deep breath and exhale. All right. You're in control. You've got the power. And think about your issue and connect with your higher inner being and allow yourself to receive the answer. So let's see what we have here. Regarding your issue. Hey, Rikara's here. All right. So Starseed Oracle is number 1. For those of you who have chosen number 1, now you might be watching this in a replay or on YouTube. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. It helps the algorithms so I get noticed more. Okay. All right. So, here we go. So for the Starseed Oracle, 2 stuck together. And the first one was being a visionary. And it's about big picture thinking. The big picture thinking. What's the big picture for you? Now, you know what I like about this card is that it's almost as if the celestial part is on the top and below mirrors the possible, world that we are living in or have created. So, and you see the heavenly bodies, the people, the energies that are standing left and right of the portal. So instead of looking down, look up every once in a while and think about how this might relate to being inspired, using your vibe to think, people say outside the box. Well, what I say is there are no boxes. No boxes, only the ones that your mind creates. So as we couple this with the planets going direct, as I said earlier, when Saturn goes direct on October 22nd, but, around that time, it's the whole month of October, really. And by the 25th, we're in the Scorpio Solar Eclipse energy. So big picture thinking means you may not see the big picture, but if you're open and willing to receive the big picture, that is key, allowing yourself to have it. Now, the card that stuck to it is your star ancestors, lost wisdom, look a little deeper, hidden secrets. So what I like about this particular pairing is the energies up above. Again, we've got celestial beings up above that tie into ancient knowledge. So it might behoove you if this is for business or if this is related to which direction to go in to have a more secure future, a more stable, tangible type of future. If you chose the first oracle, then it might be, if you go back and think, who did it before me? Who else did it and succeeded? You don't have to reinvent the wheel, folks. Really, my friends. When you've got, big picture thinking and star ancestors, we're like big picture thinking. Yeah, what's possible? And then ancestors, what did they do? What not to do? That's good to know, right? It's good to know. If you're about to have a baby and you're thinking, Yeah, I'm not going to do what my grandmother did or my mother did. I'm going to do it in a different way, big picture thinking, but also take into account the support that can come to you from your ancestors and or the ancestors of this earth and the guardians of this earth who have come before, who built empires, who built roads and agriculture and farming, and they had answers. What did they do? They worked together as a collective. And regardless of the negatives, think about inviting them into your picture, into your big picture. So I would do a little bit of writing and say, this is what I'd like to accomplish. And I'm focused on it, but I'm detached from it enough. I'm not obsessing about it, but I now allow the all expected and unexpected available resources to come and help me. And I allow that. And you may have a dream, you have you're scrolling through Instagram and suddenly there's a post and someone's talking about something that happened already. And you're like, oh, that gives me an idea. Inspired ideas. All right, folks, I hope that helped you to answer a question or to get clarity. The next pick is going to be from the Heavenly Bodies. So have your question in mind, have your issue, yes or no. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Whoopsie. Whoa. Okay. We have an answer. Oh, of course we do. Okay, this is a little more emotional. This one is the moon. And this is about nurturing yourself, flat out, hands down, regardless of what phase the moon is in right now. We just came out of a new moon in Libra, but this is about you. And if you are a Cancer, sun, rising, or moon, this has even more impact. If you are in a relationship with a Cancer, sun, rising, or moon, this might have more impact. Or if you look at the house that your moon is in your chart, you might see those topics coming up even more right now in the month of October, and how you can get ahead of it by feeling. Remember, vibration is everything. It's what sets the material stuff in motion. And so if you're ready to be done, been there, done that, don't want to deal with it anymore, then it's time to vocalize. Remember, we talked already about Mercury going direct. Mercury doesn't stop or start you from talking. It represents the way you communicate or perceive something before you express something. You might say, oh, why bother? It's, if I say it's not going to make a difference. That's not why we need to express things. If you picked this, we express to get it. Oh, my voice cracked like a 14-year-old boy. We express to get things out in the open, to clear the air, to express who we are, to draw the line, to say, yes, this is okay, or no, that's not okay, or this is how I feel about that, or this is my emotional input that can be quite nurturing to someone else. If you're looking to create a bond with someone, it might just be letting down your guard. It might just be, I'm ready to communicate now. I'm ready to be present for you. I remember talking to someone who was a friend of mine once, past tense. And I just, over a topic, I just poured my heart out. And they sat and they listened. They went, okay, feel better? Now should we have lunch? And I was like, okay, wait a second. I just poured out my feelings. Not that I expected you to change anything or give me sage advice, but anything other than, okay, you feel better? Let's go have lunch. A response. So if you have someone in your life that you express to and you don't get a response, but pay attention, are you leaving the gap? Are you giving them a chance to respond? That's also a question in there. So, but if you have someone in your life where you are expressing yourself and you're not getting anything back, then stop and ask yourself, self, how do I feel about that? And what would I like to do about that? I went blank because I know something else is coming. So for whoever else chose the second card, if you were looking for a yes or no answer, it's a yes, but you have to feel it first. And if you don't feel it, then it's a no. It needs to be an intuitive response instead of an emotional reaction. There, done. Okay. I hope that helped you. Pile group number 2. I'm going to, I moved everything to the right because I switched things on my desk but I'm right-handed. So every time I want to grab my cup or something, the microphone's in the way. Look at my new rainbow cup. Ooh. Okay. Next, third, we have the Oracle of the 7 Energies. And by the way, for the next 2 weeks, I mean, you can book throughout October, but I'll be offering eclipse sessions in October, and I'll be coming up with that next week for you. But right now, if you wanted a quick power-up session, I think that's it. That's where you can go. Is that posting? Yes, I think so. Might have done it in 2. I don't know what that. Okay. Anyway, so let me get to the Oracle of the 7 Energies. How's everyone doing today? Nice cup. Thank you. Okay. Just move my cards around so I have room. I need room to read. Here's the card that came out. And again, the microphone is now. I have to rearrange this. And here we go. This one is 36, and it's called Seeing Beyond. And it looks like she's activated her brow chakra. And while you activate a brow chakra, it's important to know that you stay grounded, like your butt is in the chair or on the floor. And you might even use some hematite to keep you grounded while you meditate if you're someone who especially spaces out. But seeing beyond, and with the 3-6 equaling a 9, this to me tells me that you are considering a group situation or ending something. And you either look at what's happening to you and say, okay, this is what's happening. Why is this happening? Or you take ownership and say, I have attracted this. Now, does it mean you have to do something with it? It depends on who you are. And so when you co-create with the world and with your community, your family, your friends, coworkers, when you co-create, it's about knowing that you have output something and now something is going to come back. And so when you see beyond what you've attracted to the why you have attracted it, well, number one, you attracted it because some part of you is vibing a frequency. All right. And if you aren't aware of that frequency, well, now you will be in the month of October. Something will come to you. But then if it has nothing to do with the outside world, and you're really using this, like, look at her. She's got one eye with a star in it and one eye just looking straight at you. So it's like, it's being able to channel effectively. And that means to meditate, get quiet, do a short meditation and just be grounded, and then open up the crown chakra and pull it through and allow it to come through to you. Now, it's a little different than the first card, which had inspired action. But it's more about connecting with your spirit for practical purposes. The 3 in here is about communication. You see the number at the top. And the 6 is about community. And when we put the 3 and the 6 together, it's about humanitarian efforts or ending something. And when you open yourself up, if you're a practitioner of metaphysical arts, you can go to an even more profound divine place and be what, not just a channel. I mean, we all channel, but the idea of using that to be a generator for someone's opportunity, be someone's opportunity. Have the vision, be someone's opportunity. Does it mean, oh, I get something on you? You just meet somebody at a dinner party and you're like, I see this about you. No. We want to have boundaries. But we want to see beyond what's happening. Someone might be having a crap day and you have asked them for something or you ask them a question and they're not responding. So instead of staying small and just looking at what is in front of you, open up to the star power that you have and see beyond the veil. Keep imagining that you have the power. Well, don't imagine because it's fantasy. Imagine because it is real. You have the power to co-create with the universe. So look at your world. What have you made? How are you feeling? That feeling is going to take you to the next place. And that feeling that you have of, oh, it's not going to work out, or I put my resume in and I didn't get an answer, or we had a meeting and, I didn't get a response. Please don't assume. Don't assume with the one eye that's just looking at what is. What is what is. Well, let's acknowledge it and move along. Keep the greater vision. Now, that is different from the first one because in the first Starseed Oracle, and maybe you picked both cards. And if you did, remember, you're gathering information using bigger picture, yes, and channeling your ancestors or people who have come before you who've been there, done that, and perfected it. And why reinvent the wheel, right? That was the first Oracle card. But if you have a combination of this one, it's about really upping your vibe with, where are you? Things are reversed on screen. So I'm like, I'm getting dizzy. I'm making myself dizzy. So it's about really accessing the higher self in you. Just take a look at her forehead and her eyes. She is looking right at what's happening, but she's also seeing the bigger picture. Because your higher self sees what's coming and always sees what's coming. It's like saying you want to book a flight to go somewhere and it's important to you. And you book the flight and they say, it's overbooked, or here's the price. And your gut is telling you, just book the flight and stop niggling over like it's $50 more than last week. Just if your intuition says book the flight. And then, I don't know if you know this, I learned this from my husband, who is a Cancer, Taurus rising, Aquarius moon. You can check back. And if a flight has gone down in price, you can call the airlines and you can get a refund for if you paid more, but you just secure your seat. You can do that with a hotel too. You can always ask that. The airlines will most likely give it to you, and the hotels will if you believe they will. And my husband always believes this. And we booked a hotel for a future trip. And my husband said, out of curiosity, I'm just going to check back. It was 3 weeks later, and the price had gone down for the hotel room by $100. So my husband called and said, hey, we booked and we're so excited. And so I'm just wondering, would you be able to give us that new rate? And the front desk said, yes, of course. We can't wait to see you in Cancun. And I will be coming live as long as technology works and I know how to work it. But this will be our first vacation in 4 years. And I will be doing a Facebook Live from Cancun in December. Okay. But other than that, I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? Use your inner vision by meditating more a little bit. You don't have to sit for 4 hours a day. I mean, I used to for 6, honestly. I got great answers, but I was so spacey afterwards. So I want you to use something grounding, like, what do I have here? Okay. Hematite is grounding if you've got it. This is black tourmaline, also known as schorl. And I use that. I keep that right on my computer when I'm working. I've got all these crystals around me, and rocks, random. Oh, it's pretty. So I just pick it out of my backyard and bring it in and put it on my desk. So it just keeps me grounded. So I want you to do the same card number 3, but for everyone, whoever meditates, instead of going to extremes, we want to just keep it open and yet grounded. Does that make sense? Does that help? Let me just check in with folks. Hey, Ashley, a lot of energy is coming in, and hard on me. Okay, because I didn't understand the sentence, but now I get it. Typos can take you into a whole different world. A lot of energy is coming in are hard on men. Yes, and women, and those of non-specific gender, but specifically you. Patty, hi, Patty. Thanks for being here. And Deborah. A Scorpio man appeared as a match on a date site. Taurus, ooh, well, have fun with that. Here comes the eclipses. So this will be, and I want to break into song every time I say something, and it happens to be something from like a lyric from "This Will Be an Everlasting Love." Okay, I don't know who is talking through me sometimes. My husband will look at me and go, okay. Do you need to sit down, honey? I hope this has helped you. This was fun. I love doing oracle readings. Next week, we're going to be talking about the eclipses that are upcoming. I will be. After this power up session, you can go ahead and click on that link. It's 40 minutes with me for $147. And it's just to help you organize everything that you're doing. I will hold a vision for you that you are as present as possible. All right. When I come back next week and we are in October, the shifting sands that we feel are part of who we believe we are as individuals and as the collective. And the collective is you are pure conscious love. That's what you are. That's what you resonate. That is the being that you came here to be, to experience the tangible world. The physical, tangible world. It's like, oh, wow, that's hot, or that's delicious, or I don't like the way that feels, or I'm going to go build that thing, have that relationship, deal with my stuff. And every vibe that you have that you don't really deal with, or that you let accumulate, it becomes a pattern, and that becomes a neuron in your brain, and that neuron creates a family of neurons electrically. They output electricity. So when you start to repeat over and over and over and over and over, that thing's not going to work. Oh, I'm cursed when it comes to, I mean, if you're making a joke, yeah, great, it's funny, ha ha ha. But if you actually start to believe things that you're saying, just think about what you're saying. Just think about what you're saying, and then change your mind, and your life will change, because your vibration is changing, because the perceptions and the vibration that go together, a thought coupled with an emotion, anchors that particle, that neuron. It's like, yep, I never get what I want, or, I call them and I'm always pursuing and they never call me back. Or, so, we're in that limbo stage right now where you're deciding what's your reality. And one last time before we go, where are we? Here we go. There we go. So we are looking at the sun in Libra, Venus in Libra, and Mercury in Virgo before it heads on back into Libra again. We've got the moon in Scorpio right now. We've got Pluto in Capricorn, and Saturn in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter in Aries, Chiron in Aries. And we've got the North Node in Taurus. That means the South Node is in Scorpio, always opposite, always in retrograde. That's the direction. They don't move. They're not actual spheres, but it's the calculation of the moon as it orbits the Earth. As the Earth orbits the sun, there are cross points. And That's what the calculations are for the north and south nodes. And then there's Uranus in Taurus, and then there's Mars in Gemini. So, I mean, there's always something happening, right? There's always something going on. But what I want to see you become really adept at is being as present as possible, no matter what is happening, because then you can vibe your next moment and you can make your next moment be your conscious, intentional reality. Isn't that cool? You have that much power. What are you going to do with it? Oh my gosh. All right. One last drink of my purple rainbow water. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for being. I am going to go now because my brain is foggy. So I must need a nap or something. Okay. I'll be back on October 6th, and we're going to gear up for the eclipses. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we will. Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks. Have a great one. Grateful.